Welcome to this instructional video for the Dave Smith Instruments Pro 2 editor from Soundtower. In this video, we'll be diving into the main pages of the Soundtower Pro 2 editor that represent the front panel of the Pro 2. Having available all the parameter controls on screen is a great way to graphically see and adjust every possible nuance of this powerful instrument. Combined with the hardware encoders on the front panel of the Pro 2, the Pro 2 editor provides a perfect companion to make your programming fun, fast, and intuitive. So let's get started. Before we can begin, we have to confirm that the Pro 2 is communicating with the computer. We have provided a more in-depth video on connecting the Pro 2 if you need it, but we'll just quickly hit the main points here. We're connected to the Pro 2 through a USB cable between the instrument and the computer. So to confirm the connection, we simply click MIDI, then MIDI Setup, select Pro 2 on the in port and the out port, and when we see the Pro 2 is online, that's it. Close this window, and we're back to the main screen. When the Pro 2 editor first opens, you're presented with this view. Below the panel representing the screen on the Pro 2, you have a navigation bar that allows quick access to all the various groups of related controls and other features. We'll just run through the main groups quickly, then return to look deeper into each one. Starting with banks, here you have a complete listing of all the programs in the Pro 2. There are 4 user banks and 4 factory banks. We'll cover the category, playlist, librarian, and phantom features in another video. Next, we have the Oscillators page. The main focus of this group is the 4 oscillators at the top of the window. However, this page also includes control for the voltage control amplifier, including an adjustable graphic display. 2 panels that show finger position and pressure on the 2 sliders on the Pro 2, and an XY pad that is not found on the Pro 2. This is a very cool feature. A couple of miscellaneous keyboard settings, basic sequencer settings which are duplicated on the dedicated sequencer page, character controls, and Arpeggiator controls. These panels on the far right are actually part of the filter group, which we will look at next. In the filter group, there are filter routing controls, distortion, feedback, and external in controls. Next to that, there are 2 filter DADSR controls and the DADSR controls for envelope 4 and envelope 5. Again, each envelope has a graphic display of the envelope shape. In the delay LFO group, there are 4 available delays and 4 low-frequency oscillators. Next to the delay and LFO is the modulation page. This allows you to set up various modulation routings for all 16 available paths. And finally, the last panel displays all the features of the onboard 16-track sequencer. Under the Parameters menu, all the Pro 2 editor panels can be called from here as well, and shown are the keyboard shortcuts for your convenience in navigating the editor. Let's go back to the Oscillators page for a moment. For many users, being able to grab hardware controls for some functions may be better for certain tasks. Other functions in your workflow may be significantly easier using the editor. When you do make adjustments on the front panel of the Pro 2, the software responds to the hardware input. As an example, I can click the individual buttons on the Pro 2 to select the oscillator I'll be adjusting, and the software shows those changes. Oscillator 1, Oscillator 2, Oscillator 3, and Oscillator 4. The advantage with the software is you can see all 4 oscillators at once. Use whatever combination of hardware and software control that best supports your style. Let's run through some of the features of these pages in more detail while editing a program in the Pro 2. I'm going to start by initializing a program and save it to a location over a program that I really don't need. I think I'll pick this FM bass here. It's kind of a nondescript sound that I'm probably not going to need ever. So we'll go to Edit and initialize the sound. And now that's the sound of the initialized program, just a real simple two oscillator sound. And I'll save that out later. So let's go to oscillators. And the first thing I want to do is get this oscillator up an octave. Okay, I think the next thing I want to do is add something very cool I found here called super tines. Turn that up a little bit. And then transpose it up. This just kind of puts a bit of a metallic sound on the top. Okay, let's add a little bit of sub onto this. Too much of this over here. That's better. Okay, what I'd like to do is add one more oscillator. A fourth oscillator down here. Let's go with super saw. And we'll lift that up. And we'll go up 2 octaves and a fifth. Okay, we'll use that as a beginning, and now let's add a little distortion. Still too much of that high voice, I think. Okay, I think what I'd like to do now is head over to the filter. Okay, and let's pull this. Let's give this a boost. Let's try a little more distortion and see what we get. Okay, let's go back to the oscillator page for a moment. This is where we can adjust the pitch bend up and down ranges. I just tend to use a full tone bend. That should be enough. Okay, right. Now let's get this set up so we can use the mod wheel for vibrato. So we need to go to here and check that LFO1 is set to triangle wave to move all the oscillator pitches. We'll go to modulations, and here we can see the mod wheel is set to LFO1 and amount. We'll twist up. Just do it a little more. Too much. We're not hearing too much of vibrato because the filter's closed down quite a bit. So we'll let's have the mod wheel also adjust the cutoff frequency. A little more than that. So there we're getting vibrato and the filter is opening up. Okay, I think we'll leave it there for now. I'm going to keep the envelope pretty short because I anticipate using this sound to demonstrate the sequencer, and I like using short sounds on the sequencer. So we will come back to this. So first of all, let's get this saved out. We'll go to Edit, Write Program, and we'll just write it right over top of the same place, and we'll just call it Demo Sound. And we'll pick a category. And it's kind of a bright bass, I guess. And we'll save that out. And now we should have that saved. That's a great sound. And now we'll go back, Demo Sound, and we're good. Okay, that's it for this quick overview of the main panels of the Soundtower Pro 2 editor to come up with a bit of a detailed bass sound that we'll use in a follow-up video. Please take a look for the other videos that cover other features of this handy tool to get inside the Dave Smith Pro 2. It's so easy.